Thank you, Peter. Then we move on to the next speaker, who is François Houÿez from the European Organization for Rare Diseases, EURORDIS. So you have the floor, François.
Thank you, Noel, and good afternoon. The perception of a health threat due to COVID-19 is high or very high for 71% of people living with a rare disease, based on EURORDIS Rare Barometer survey we conducted from April to May among 7,000 with 7,000 respondents. With vaccines and other measures, we hope to be back to our normal life as soon as possible, even though life is never completely normal when you live with a severe disease. Normality is when you can visit your hospital again with no fear of getting the virus. EURORDIS trusts the high-quality evaluation of vaccines by this agency. Over the years, we've learned, observed, witnessed how you work. EURORDIS believes EU citizens are better placed with a stringent evaluation by the EMA, probably no mandatory vaccination, but the freedom to choose between 2, 3, or more vaccines, discussing with our doctors. European institutions already ordered 1.5 billion doses of several vaccines. Lower prices were negotiated, and vaccines should be reimbursed in the EU with a call for vaccines to be affordable in third countries. The evaluation of vaccines should be science-driven. EURORDIS condemns attempts to influence the evaluation process, like in the USA, Russia, and even UK and Hungary to some extent. The technologies used to develop these vaccines were launched in 2013 for some of them, with MERS and SARS-CoV-1 virus already. Research did not just start in December 2019. But there are questions related to the technologies. For example, is it okay to develop adenovirus-based vaccines when several gene therapies use adenovirus as a vector? People living with a chronic and or rare disease should be among the first beneficiaries. Certainly, healthcare professionals and the elderly should be prioritized. Among elderly, this virus is as deadly as the Ebola virus. When the benefit risks will evolve, with more data coming in and longer-term follow-up obtained, lower-risk people will have more information to make their decisions. And we are getting prepared. Our organizations engage with their centers of expertise and the European reference networks. For example, in Rett syndrome, clinicians started to explain that the risks of experiencing a side effect to a vaccine are far, far less than the risks of being infected by the coronavirus without a vaccine. Even if the safety profiles of the vaccine seem okay so far, there may be some specific questions, and EURORDIS will share others in writing with the EMA. For example, in Dravet syndrome, fever as a side effect to the vaccine could trigger seizures. So what to do? Possible interactions between vaccines using the mRNA technology and antisense therapies, also based on mRNA, raise questions. Hereditary hemorrhagic telangiectasia, rare cancers, immune deficiencies, with blood transfusions and immunosuppressants that are used, is there a need for a washout period before getting the vaccine? Auto-inflammatory diseases, should patients stop their anti-inflammatory treatment? How long before and when to start again? To conclude, we need to discuss arrangements for the continuation of clinical trials for vaccine, for example, using crossover design or active control trials. There will be other randomized clinical trials starting next year, so we need to discuss what are the best ethical arrangements. We need to organize real-time post-authorization surveillance, for example, using mobile applications for reporting any feedback. Patients should express their concern now. There is still time. For example, if you are in a clinical trial for a treatment for your disease and your doctor your doctor should check if the study protocol authorizes the use of that vaccine. EURORDIS is confident that the EMA and national authorities will continue to listen and to respond to all questions the public might have. Engaging and listening is an essential component of transparency and trust. Thank you.
Thank you very much, François. I think you highlighted a number of very important points that, of course, we will take into consideration when moving forward. Also would like to thank you and EURORDIS very much for the trust that you always have put in the agency's work. We move